How are we doing, guys? Welcome to my new fishing channel on this very cold Christmas Eve. Well, I'm fishing at a private still water today, and I have got a couple of rods set up at the moment. I've got a lure rod set up, which is just a Cortland camo intermediate, which is about 1.5–2 inches a second sink rate, with a damsel in quotation mark nymph. It's just basically a lure. So I've got that on today with quite a short leader, and on the more imitative side, shall we say, I have a team of 3 flies. On the top dropper I have a Rob's UV buzzer, which is quite light. On the middle dropper I have a green-headed black buzzer. Yes, I know, not very imitative, but we'll give that a go. And then on the point I have a bright pink buzzer, which is, I'm going to say it's going to represent the bloodworm that are living in the lake, because it is freezing today, and usually trout will chase lures to stock up for the winter, which is what we're in now. So they'll be chasing lures and getting ready to pack on some weight. When the sun comes out like it just has now, I'll be switching over to buzzers if there's a buzzer hatch. So let's give these a go, shall we? Okay guys, so I'm going to try this swim here. A lot of anglers will walk past it because there are quite a few trees behind, but I have seen a few cruising round here earlier today. So I'm going to strip off a bunch of line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast and present my fly on the back cast. So I'm going to forward cast into the tree so I can see exactly where the line's going to be, and then I'm going to present the fly on the back cast. And I've still got the damsel nymph on, damsel lure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the fly in the water first, untangle the tip of the rod. There we are. And now I'm going to cast backhanded. So I'm going to cast into the trees, well, hopefully not into the trees, and then present my fly on the back cast. So it just, you could do it on the back cast, but it just ensures that you know exactly where the fly is, especially when the wind's just picked up. So I'm just letting my fly sink to 5 seconds, which with this line is about 10 inches, because I've noticed that some fish are cruising quite far down in the water column as compared to a bit earlier. There's just one just swam under my line now, so there are quite a few fish around here. See if there's anything following. Yes, there is. Got him. There we are. He just followed that straight in from out there. And now what we've got to do is land. I've seen the white of its mouth. That's really important, to see the white of the fish's mouth if you're nymph fishing or doing any underwater fishing like that. You see the white of the fish's mouth. So I'm going to just net the fish like that. And then what I'm going to do is keep the fish in the water. That is so important. And I'm not even going to touch the fish, because we want to increase its life expectancy as I'm going to be releasing it. If it stops flapping around, I can get the fly out, hopefully. There we are. Lift the net up a bit, because we don't want the fish to come out and then net it again. So there we are, just let him calm down a bit. There we are, right. So there's the fly. Almost had it out. Hook like that, and then let him swim off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had that fish quite a bit far down in the water column, well, further down than what I expected, which was about 10 inches, because this line sinks up 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches a second. And that fish followed that straight in. I seen the white of the fish's mouth and then struck on that. As soon as you see the white flash, nothing following it this time. I'm going to turn round, cast in the gap in the trees, and then present my fly on the back cast. There we are. Now you are a bit limited where you can cast. I can't fan cast around here, but it's better than nothing, which a lot of anglers would walk past this because they can't do a normal cast. So I'll just count down to 5 seconds again. There we are. Trying different retrieves. Now that last fish did take when I was about to lift off, called fishing the hang. That's why it's so important not to just recast when you've come to the end of your line and you want to recast out again. So I'm just varying the retrieve just a tiny bit, just to mess them around, because it is a, oh, we just had a pull then, because it is a lure. There we are, fish on again. Oh, it's a jumper. Oh, it's quite deep here, so they'll tend to dive quite deep. I'm going to get some line on the reel just to make it a bit more easy for myself. Keeping tension, keeping a bend in the rod. There we are. There he is. There we are. Now I'm going to skim into the net and go down. Keep a rod length of leader and line at the rod tip. Roll your rod back, net the fish. There we are. Keep the fish in the water. We don't want to touch the fish either. Oh, and the fly just come out. There we are. This is my box of fly, well, one of my many boxes of flies. I just sorted these out last night. So I tied these: orange-headed black buzzer, green-headed black buzzer, pink buzzers, orange buzzers. These aren't mine. These are Rob's UV buzzers from Fulling Mill. Different ones, boobies. These ones as well, one of my killer patterns. I might try that. A blue-tailed taddy. Okay guys, so I've put my blue-tailed taddy on. Just really interested. I think they will go absolutely mental for that, because I've struggled on some days, and as soon as I've put that on, they've taken it. So what I'm going to do, just get it wet just to start off with, just so it sinks properly, which it is doing now. There we are. That big 5-pounder's come back. There's one chasing it now. Oh, he just turned away. Just turned away. So I'm just making sure it's properly wet so it sinks. I'm even going to squeeze the air out of the body. Just a chenille body. I've got I don't mind keeping or showing you my killer fly, because I think everyone should help everyone, except if you're in a competition. So that's all it is. It's just a blue tail and black chenille body and just a gold head, and that's all it is. And what I forgot to have done, which I usually do at the vice, I've forgotten to snip the barb off, which is good job I did pull that back in. So, snip the barb off. What we do is take our forceps or whatever, careful with the point, squeeze it down, and a lot of people think that's good enough. Well, it will still, if you stick it in a jumper or something, it will still stay in because the bar was on there. So what I do then is just rotate the hook. Be careful not to go past the point. So I've actually snipped the barb off and then I've rotated around just like a file or a rasp. You're just taking that sharp edge off, so that'll come out of fish's mouth really easily, just like you saw on my other ones, where, well, especially the last fish, the fly just come out the fish's mouth really easily in the net. So I'm going to do exactly the same as what I did before. I'm going to cast through the gap in the trees and then present on the back cast. Excuse the noisy reel. Let it sink for 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. Now I switched to a floating line because I've noticed that the fish have moved up in the water column. So now you might be thinking, why has he switched to that fly when the other fly was catching? Well, I'm just trying something different basically, just to see what the fish are interested in. Oh, there's one following it, there's one following it. Oh, there's 3 round it. 3 round it. It's 3 round that then. Might just put it back in there just to see. They'll take that. And just like that, they've all disappeared. There was 3 round there, so there we are. And just cast behind. So do the 5 seconds because that's what the fish were following at. 1 just risen on the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's quite a lot of coarse fish in here. Well, in both lakes, specifically the bottom one. The one which is on my right, that I did the introduction in, that has a lot of coarse fish in. So I might, oh, there we are, fish on. He just nipped that and took that straight away. There we are. Let's get the fish on the reel and not get it tangled around the GoPro. That's not good. And keeping tension. If it does, you do feel it go slack, forget about the reel, pull in again, and oh, never mind. Try and get them out of them trees as well. This feels quite a good fish, this, actually. See, he's keeping quite deep, so this is a really decent fish. Keeping a good bend in the rod. You can see the leader there. Just trying to get him out of there, wherever he's going. I don't really know. Oh yes, that is a good fish. He's trying to go for cover. That's what the trees are under there. Just cover for the fish. He's trying to take me in there. So I'm just pulling to its left, giving some side strain, and just pulling hard left Now it's a strong fluorocarbon, so the chance of it breaking are very slim. Obviously the hook can come out because it's a barbless hook, but as long as you keep tension on the fish, there he is, as long as you keep tension on the fish, it's very, very unlikely to come out. So ooh. Now these older style reels, you have no drag to help you, so it's like hand-to-hand combat, and that's what I love about the old reels, especially the old salmon reels, which I'll hopefully be filming more of when I move back to Durham, because I'm currently at my parents' house at the moment for Christmas break, because it is Christmas Eve today. So I'm just going to get the nets and go down the bank. There we are. So when you're landing a fish, make sure that you keep a leader length or a rod length, a rod length of line outside the tip when you're landing the fish. There's no need to wind in anymore. No need. Now, a lot of people ask, what is the difference between playing a fish on the reel and just playing it in by hand lining like that? Well, there's not really much difference. If it's a smaller fish, I'll tend to hand line it in. If it's a larger fish, or if you've got quite a few snags around, I'll play the fish on the reel. Now he's tiring now. That is a lovely fish, so I'm going to keep the net in the water, keep the fish's head up. You've just seen the net there. Keep the fish's head up, roll the net under him, keep that fish. There we are, guys, a gorgeous £3 rainbow that I've decided to keep for the table. I don't go mad and kill every fish that I catch, but this one will be fantastic for the table, considering it's Christmas tomorrow as well, because after all we are fishing on Christmas Eve. So yes, it was caught on my blue-tailed taddy, which is basically a goldhead, black chenille body, and Vineyard's Kingfisher Blue Marabou for the tail. It's about a size 10 hook, and the bead's about it's either 3.2 or 3.3. If you want any flies, I'd be more than happy to tie them for you, and I could send them to you in the post for a small fee. But there we are. So it's goodbye from me on this private Stillwater, and I hope that you have a fantastic Christmas and New Year. Hopefully see you soon.